Hi everyone, this is your host McKenna. Welcome to another episode of Crushed Cinnamon. So today I want to talk about a very sensitive topic, something I've been thinking about actually. And as you know, I talk about society and culture and how they impact each other respectively. Culture informs society, society forms culture, depending on how you want to look at it, really. And I was thinking about toxic relatives and how growing up in this kind of setting, especially depending on where you come from. I know in Africa, the Middle East, some part of South America, family is everything. Even the setup, sometimes you live with your family members in the same household and extended family as well. And you end up seeing your extended family as a whole one unit. And sometimes cousins become sisters, really, in that sense. So I know it might touch on a raw nerve, but it's something I've been reflecting on a lot. What and how should we deal with toxic relatives, especially whereby if your parents are still alive and they're still, they're still relating with these relatives, or you are the one relating with the toxic relative, but it's not becoming a happy place anymore. The cousin that you used to run to has become a narcissist, or they're always putting you down. You're being forced to go for those birthday parties for your sister or your brother, and you're not on good terms, and it's not healthy, and it's not you, it's them. It's definitely, this is a situation really where it's not about you, it's about them. And no matter how you talk about it in family meetings or in a family setup, it always blows up and it doesn't end well. So what do you do? And I've had to go through a situation as that, and especially now that I'm a mom and I have to introduce my child to my relatives, and all this kind of things. And there's even foreseeing the future of where we're going to, organize play dates, sleepovers and everything. And I'm very, very concerned about that and scared, because I've been even reading articles whereby, and we know this, you've seen situations whereby a relative is the one has committed child abuse in a very well-known family, where the mom or the dad is told about it and doesn't want to believe that also uncle so and so, auntie so and so could be this way, is actually a molester or a pedophile, or all these kind of things. And when I was growing up, I never thought about it. And honestly, and I can't blame my parents either. It's because we lived in that time and era. Things were not as crazy as they are now. You could, a cousin was looking for a job, and I was asked to share my room with her, and, we gave them accommodation and stuff like that. But the things that girl was doing was mad crazy, and sometimes I would not sleep. I was just like, no, this, and she'd come home so drunk and get into hysterics and all these things, and it was just getting too much. However, I was only young, and then I was like, how do I even approach my parents about this? How do I talk to them about her? And anyways, sadly, her true colors showed one time, and my dad was just like, you still are, a child under my roof, even though you're an adult, and I have to take care of you. And this sporadic episodes of you being drunk and coming home at odd hours with different kind of men as well is not on. So she decided to move out because of that. And and let's just say her dad and my dad kind of fell out because of that, because he believed that should have been more understanding, more lenient and all this. And at the same time, my dad was not telling him the full picture of how the daughter was living her best life, doing her, as you said, and all these things, and how sometimes we'd go weeks we've not seen her because she's disappeared, she's gone with friends, she's gone out of town or something. So what do you do? How do you deal with very toxic relatives? How do you deal with that person who always puts you down or is a passive aggressive, on the WhatsApp chat, in the family WhatsApp, you're just like, no, I can't deal with this. What do you do, especially when you're young and you're still forming opinions about the world, or you're now having your own family and you're just standing up? In fact, I was having a discussion with one of my friends the other day, and the situation was her mom was forcing her to go to the birthday party of one of her siblings, and they haven't been talking for ages, and the mom is aware of this. But the way this situation was handled was more like, why don't you be the bigger person, as opposed to of the mom really saying, okay, my friend's point of view, saying, okay, my sister is crazy. Okay, let's address the things that she's doing that are making me sad and uncomfortable, not be happy to be in the same space with her. So if you're that parent or that auntie or uncle and somebody is approaching you saying, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not able to relate with so and so because of this, what is your reaction? Are you always quick to judge and say, no, you're not giving them a chance because they're your blood kind of thing? Or do you stop and listen and say, okay, this person has approached me, how can we solve this? And I think it's high time parents also stop forcing the relations of relatives on others. For example, when they come to visit, you don't, okay, I understand, houses, especially in the UK, are not that big, they have to share a room or whatever, but can we be careful that the person, you're letting your child share the room with will not harm them physically, emotionally, psychologically, words, or any other, put them down, because that can change their mindset of for this life. I know people have been wounded because an auntie came and said, oh, by the way, you're a bit on the fluffy side, all these weird kind of comments, and it can change someone's mindset. You can be an A student and within a month you're flunking, and that's because of a visit from a relative who didn't even stay for 5 minutes and already had an impact on you. So let us be mindful of that. And parents, let's wake up, let's listen to the conversation, let's look at the body language. When your child is around a certain relative, why are they being edgy, antsy, especially if that's not in their character to be like that? Let's have those conversations and truly listen to them, because I feel that in 2022 some relationships shouldn't be forced because we share a bloodline or we share a last name, be it your who or whatever, because my mental health is very, very important to me. It's paramount. That's the space I am in right now, and I don't like the fact that anyone else, and I've had this discussion many times with my parents, especially my mom, and it's taken her a while to understand that I will not relate with certain people because they are not healthy. They're not healthy. They are not for the good of the greater good. They are not happy when I am succeeding or we are succeeding as a family. They're not about us being, doing well. We're not. Let's just face it and let's call a spade a spade. And there are those aunties or uncles who are just orchestrating drama, strife, and then there will be, oh, I haven't seen you for ages, or they haven't spoken to you. But when you speak, they start posing demands or asking weird or silly questions, or just saying some things that just like, okay, this is the reason why I don't call you. This is the reason I don't want to see you. So yeah, I want to understand what are your coping strategies. What if you've tried to speak to them numerous occasions, you've had that family meeting, nothing is changing? Do you just X them? to just say, bye-bye, Felicia. I'll see you at family events as if we have to, but I'm not inviting you to my house. I'm not inviting you for any baby shower, any birthday, whatever. Do you get to that point? I feel you should. And you should have, especially when you know you're not on the wrong, you've tried all ways to amicably sort the situation, checking somebody and say, okay, by the way, the tone you're addressing me with or the information you're trying to pass is not truth. It's actually a defamation of me, of my character. That's not true. Because I know there are relatives who don't even give you a chance. Just because you used to be a certain way, they believe you can't change. And once you've changed completely, and probably they've inwardly, when they look at it, they can believe you've changed and they've seen. But they still take you back to where you were before. They take you to the past. They keep reminding you, but when you used to be like this, we never used to say this. Oh, your pure mother used to call me, and those types. You have those types in your family. You have that kind of character in your family, and it's high time we have these discussions with our relatives. If they're your immediate family or extended family, have an honest discussion with them. Don't be defensive. Just try and explain. By the way, mom, when you do this, it makes me feel this way. It doesn't make me feel appreciated. I understand you're concerned about this, but you cannot always compare me to, my brother, my sister. I'm not that way. I'm creative in a different way. Just because I'm not earning that 6-figure job doesn't mean my creative job doesn't pay me as well, or it's not a job, or it's not something of importance to me. So let's have those discussions. I think in 2022, let's release each other from bad vibes, bad relatives, bad energy, and definitely toxic relatives. That needs to end. And let's protect each other, honestly. And if you are the toxic person, change. This is a good time as ever to change and get some help. And if somebody is constantly telling you, if it's not just even one person, 2 or 3, check yourself and say, okay, so and so has come to me. A bunch of people have told me I speak to them in a certain way. I'm treating them in a certain way. I'm doing things that are causing pain, havoc, confusion, whatever. And check yourself, okay? So, as I always say, be the one who brings about the change. And let us be healthier. Let us be better people in 2022. Thank you for listening to this episode of Crushed Cinnamon. See you on the next one.